Today was horrible. Before your life can become anything meaningful, you have to step out of that comfort zone. Assalamu alaikum, bonjour, greetings, runaways, Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem, and a happy day to all of you. It's right now it's Friday afternoon. I'm completely bored and thought, you know what? Why don't I just start filming this video now? I usually have this shot by Wednesday or Thursday, so it gives me a couple of days to edit. But I wanted to go as long as I could because I have a progress report here, and I wanted to go as many days into Ramadan before I got back to you and tell you how I was doing with everything. And then later, when it gets closer to the dinner bell, I'm going to be making a mint tea, and yeah, but I don't want to do that now and then have a bunch of tea that I can't drink because, well, I'm fasting. So there's that. So basically, to touch on a few things, I'm not real eloquent with this today. I'm foggy brained. You'll understand why here in a little bit. So let's just jump straight into how I'm doing here. I'm not depressed, but I'm pretty over this quarantine. I'm not gonna lie. You've all seen where I stay, and it's just me. I have no terrace, I have no view, I have no partner, I have nothing. Now, not saying that to say, oh, poor Terry, oh, poor Terry. Don't do that, I don't need it. But it's just kind of to give you a little bit of clarification on why I'm struggling and understand that I'm coming to a much better understanding of myself and my level of discipline. Without any further ado, let's jump into my book. Okay, let's come back to, I think I didn't even start this until day 2, which I believe is the 26th. Day 2 of Ramadan. I'm gonna go ahead and trust that I was right that day. April 26th, 2:40 p.m. All I can think about is food, and in all honesty, I cheated earlier, but only 2 spoonfuls of peanut butter and midday coffee. I'm also gonna warn you that I'm not the strongest reader, so I'm gonna sit here and fumble like the slow kid in class. I'm a much better writer and talker than I am a reader. But then what I'm really starting to see is, right off the bat, okay, and I wrote it down here. I didn't prepare as I should have. I really didn't. But I came into this with a dedication. I'm determined to dig deeper and to really just experience this on the absolute fullest level that I can possibly do it. So even at this point, even though that I'm failing right off the bat without preparation, the mindset is to do better every single day. How did I do? April 27th, 9:13 a.m. Fasting, not going quite to plan. Although I'm not completely blowing it, I'm not at 100%. I'm about 95%. But honestly, coffee is still a thing. I did make a hadida, going to brag about myself. We all saw the hadida. A lot of great advice on how to do that differently and or better. And I appreciate that. And believe me, as I stay here the longer and longer in Morocco, the cuisines, the practice on that, I'm excited about that. That's gonna be really good stuff. You guys have some really great food here. Back to the fasting struggle. I even wrote that. Back to the fasting struggle. I knew at that point I was gonna get scatterbrained. Okay, getting up at 3:30 a.m., as I've talked about before, just something I can't do that. And I've talked about that in the last video. I'm not gonna rehash too much into that. But what I said here was, I'm not sure if doing that will make a difference, but it just might. No, I think I'd rather eat once a day. And then I thought about what I said right then and there, and I said, that last sentence says more than words convey. So there's more to that sentence than just those words, because as I started to realize I can decide to eat once a day. I have that choice. No matter what, I have food over here. I have food in the refrigerator and the freezer. I'm stocked with food. My good buddy Omar, that guy is just beyond amazing. I will get a text, like a Facebook message, and he'll say, hey, check your door. And he's come up and he's left something at my door. And it's, it's like a big, huge plate. It's like couscous, just things like that, snacks, it's different little things like that. He's always just making sure, hey, boom, I got you. Go check your door. He came and gone, thief in the night, and so I have food. I know I got off on that, so I digress. When I say I digress, I don't know if I've explained that one before, but when I say I digress, that means I'm going back to the main topic. So if you aren't familiar with that term, I digress. When someone says that, an English speaker says that to you, and you don't understand it, I digress means, okay, forget that, I'm going back to the main topic. Let's get back to what we're talking about. So, I digress. Okay, where were we? Let's move right along. So yes, I can decide to eat. And when I think about that, it automatically starts elevating my sense of gratitude about what I have. Like, let's take the American holiday, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a time, just like it's just for Thanksgiving, and people do sit around a table and we feast, and we are very thankful for the food that we have. But I got to thinking, how grateful really are we? I mean, we sit around this table and we preach gratitude and empathy. The gratitude, we're thankful. But let's be honest. America's not out of food. Not by even the furthest stretch. You can get full any day of the week, any time of the day. It doesn't matter. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. There's always something open. You can get food anywhere at any time in America, in the United States. And so I started thinking, you know, I probably feel more grateful now for the meals that I have. In fact, I know I do. And it's not to say that we're not thankful in the United States. I'm not going to sit here and do that, and I don't want to open a door to start bad-mouthing my country. But I do feel that sometimes we miss the mark, and we don't really dig deeper into completely understanding it. Now, there is a lot of charitable people in the United States. There are a lot of charities, a lot of charitable work going on that time of year. Don't get me wrong. But I still feel, as someone from the United States who has been, you know, Thanksgiving's been one of my favorite holidays since I can't even tell you how long. And now here I am sitting 2 weeks into Ramadan going, I haven't been thankful enough because I haven't deprived myself. I haven't taken away the thing that I say I'm thankful for. So how thankful am I really? Yeah, I was thankful. I was grateful. But now I'm sitting here going, whoa, this completely changes everything. And so I encourage people in Western countries to fast more, to take away those daily comforts, those daily crutches, those daily vices. Because I promise you, you do this for at least a few days, much less for an entire month, you're going to see a real change. I mean, I'm only 2 weeks into this and I'm already seeing a whole lot of changes going on just from the inside, as far as how I see people. Now I take some of that extra food. When I go to the market, there's homeless people out there, and I'll walk by and, you know, I give them that food. Anyway, so anyways, I just want to kind of touch on that, and I didn't say that to badmouth anything that we do in America. I'm just saying there's a realization that I'm not ashamed to call out and say, hey, I think that there could be a little bit more. So anyways, I said all that to say this. I'm just very grateful that I'm still in a place where I can decide to eat once a day. That is still a choice for me. So there's my elevation and the gratitude. The empathy is already just, I'm already starting to see it at this point. April 28th, 4:27 p.m. I am at the point of just giving in and justifying it's only a few hours until sundown. I can no longer concentrate. I need food. Okay, then I later say I made it 21 hours on my first day of eating only one meal a day. So I think that I did pretty well because I cut out half my food for the day, 21 hours, but I didn't quite make it to the dinner bell. I didn't quite make it to iftar. And at that point, I still didn't feel very good about myself emotionally. I was disappointed. I was like, you could have made it a couple more hours. You weren't gonna die. That was one of the marks in this whole thing that said, okay, do it again, do it better. Let's do it tomorrow and let's make it work. Let's do this. And so let's see, the 30th, somehow I missed the 29th. Not sure how yesterday got away from me, not making an entry, especially since up to date was the most successful day in my fasting. I went 27 hours since my last entry before eating again, except for one thing. You guessed it, coffee. Admittedly, I drank coffee almost the entire day to help me cope. And I go on to say here that it's kind of like when people try to quit smoking. There's a hand-to-mouth action that satisfies the mind. So when you do without food, you need something. Maybe I should have got a pencil or something and periodically put it in my mouth or something, I don't know. But I chose coffee, and that was the wrong choice. Admittedly, I'm just laying it all out there. Coffee had been a very big problem for me, and doing this absolutely the way it needed to be done. Dry fasting is a part of it, and I just wasn't there yet, but I really, really wanted to get that behind me. I wanted to achieve that. I wanted to hurdle that obstacle. May 1st, I made it to about 11 o'clock and I had peanut butter and then coffee most of the day. I suck at this. So there you go. May 2nd, good news. I only ate at sundown. Bad news, I drank coffee all day. You seeing a pattern, right? We're definitely seeing a pattern. I didn't leave the house, so I was pretty content with staying indoors all day. Random thought. May 3rd, 8:15. Oh yeah, here we go. As I sit in silence, disappointed in myself already for the coffee I have in front of me, I wonder how I'm going to make it all day. So this is early in the morning and I'm really determined to put this coffee down and stop doing this. But I'm at this point, I'm like freaking out. It's like, okay, but this is where you have to get out of your comfort zone. This is where the growth happens. This is where things get very meaningful. You have to take yourself out of that comfort zone. You have to put yourself in that place of discomfort before you can gain any more meaning in your life. Before your life can become anything meaningful, you have to step out of that comfort zone, and you have to do it as often as possible, because there is where your growth lies. There is where it all is. Where do I put my focus? How? Why is this so difficult for me? I know I'll get to eat, and it's just coffee. Did I just say that? Yeah. And I just read that. I wrote that in my thing. I'm so dumb. I have to remind myself of the daily focus on empathy, patience, and digging deeper into the gratitude for even the smallest things in life. Where did I go from here? This is all over the place. Again, I have no idea how I've been racking my brain all week trying to figure out how I'm going to do this video. Fog brain. I'm just so, and dealing with my boredom. Absolute fasting and isolation here. So you guys are my social outlet. You guys are it. So deal with me, please. The May 4th. Today I made a turn. Here we go. Is this it? Is this it? I made progress in my thought processes and also in making another day until iftar without eating. I couldn't help but notice a renewed and happy, energetic feeling that I get an hour prior to breakfast. So I talked about that already. And so here we go, come May 4th. I'm really wanting to talk about this. What in the world? Piece of plastic. You know, I go on once seated, I do so feeling a sense of accomplishment as well as a high level of empathy and gratitude. You just start to take on a whole new life at this point. You just see things so differently. So here we are at May 4th, and that's where I'm starting to make this turn. I'm starting to really get a very deeper sense, a more intrinsic value into Ramadan, and I really, really appreciate this time of year. And I'm very, very excited about getting to experience this. Absolutely. May 5th, today was horrible. But in spite of a slight migraine, headache, and a little bit of nausea, I still fasted. I held out until iftar, and the food was more flavorful, and my gratitude for having food at the end of this absolute nightmare that dominated my day was just more than I can say. Why do I have pieces? Oh, I see what's going on here. Peeling off of here. I'm very random today. Okay, Friday, May 5th. That was no food, no coffee. I woke up with a migraine. I had the house completely dark. Didn't want to talk to anybody. I laid in bed. I slept for about 80% of the day. And I made a cup of coffee. I did. I made a cup of coffee. I looked at it, set it on the coffee table, and I went back to bed. And it sat there all day until the evening when it was time to finally get up and start moving around. I dumped it out and began preparing my breakfast. That was a very, very pivotal, difficult day for me, was Wednesday. And I'm very grateful for that day, even though it was absolutely horrible. But I did it. I persevered. Wednesday, May 6th. Today was much better. Made it to iftar. I won't say I didn't have any times of temptation, but it was again all worth it. This was the second day of absolute dry fasting throughout the day. So come May 5th, May 6th, I have finally come to the point where I have given up all the vices during the day. I'm complete vice deprivation right now. And this is why I'm as foggy brained as I am. Oh gosh, what is today's date? The 8th. So 2 days after this, I am still foggy brained, no coffee. But I know that I've done it since then. I have been coffee free since then. Today's the 8th and no coffee all day. So anyways, that's a little bit of how I'm doing, how I'm dealing. And yeah. I'll see you later when it's time to make that mint tea. All right. Okay, and we're back. It's much later in the day. I've spent most of the day editing what you saw earlier, getting that ready to go. And the water's just about ready to boil. It's almost there. We've got about, give or take about 20 minutes before we can break our fast here. And I know that I had a lot to say today. I was a little long-winded. Video's a little longer than normal, and I apologize for that. But on the same token, I had a lot to say, and I hope that you got something from it and that you enjoyed it. Now we're going to do this Moroccan mint tea. Now, for those of you who don't know, mint tea here in Morocco is absolutely one of the main things in Moroccan cuisine is the Moroccan mint tea. It's very sweet, it's very minty, but not too much. It's really nice. And so to make a really good Moroccan mint tea, to make a good mint tea, man, that's something, and it's a craft. And so I'm gonna try it today. I've tried it once, twice already, and for some reason I keep forgetting steps and doing this, and so I may do something kind of weird, quirky here, but I'm still gonna give it my best shot because this is to be taken seriously here in Morocco. And for those of you who don't live here, come here, and when you try this tea, you're gonna know exactly what I mean. Even if you like the flavor of mint just a little bit, you're going to absolutely love this tea if it's done right. Okay, so I'm just about have everything. I have everything going here. So I've got my sugar, my mint, my cups, all the things going on here, and water sizzling. It's just about ready to go. So when that is ready and we are absolutely about to start pouring water and mixing tea and things like that, I'll bring you back. It's time for mint tea. Okay, I'm gonna stop being dumb. Let's move this off of here. So what I'm gonna do first is, now I'm going by a recipe that I saw on YouTube, Cooking with Aaliyah. A lot of you have recommended that to more than one of us here on YouTube, and we really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I won't speak for anyone else, but they're using recipes, so maybe they do too, right? Anyways, let me slow down. I'm getting real excited. It's getting just about time to eat. So what we do first here is we're gonna pour a little bit of this, water all over the stove. Gonna pour that in there just like that. And then you slosh it around a little bit. What this does is it cleans the pot a little bit up, and also it heats it up a little. So it's not really sure, but it heats it up. I think that's all a part of the process. This magical process that I don't know anything about the whys of a lot of things, but I just go with it. All right, so we take that, we set that there. Now I'm gonna have to set you guys down. All right. It's a GoPro, it should be a pretty good angle. All right, so then what we do is we come in here and we grab some of what's called this gunpowder green tea. And I will spill it everywhere before I get it in here, I promise. Okay, so there's that. Probably just a, really? Let's go with a little bit more. Then we add about a cup of water. Let it set for a minute. Okay, so then what we do is we take this, give it a little bit of a swirl, and we pour in the first cup. Now this is what they call the spirit of the tea. This is when the leaves they first break open, they first open up with this hot water, and a lot of the flavors start coming out. It's right in there. Then what we do is pop this lid back here. We're gonna pour some more water in. And this time we give this one a good little swirl. And from what I understand, we pour it into another cup. And this one is to be discarded. So this is a long time in the making, learning how to make the tea the way they do, because I mean, how do you know to do that, right? Okay, so let's just we'll chunk that. Then what we do is we take this and we pour it back in, and then we pour the water in here till it's about 3/4 full. So probably some of you are going to cringe at this point because I'm going to put it back on the heat because the recipe calls to bring it to a boil. So we're gonna bring it back to a boil, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so now we've got this heated up to the recommended temperature, and then it says to take a nice big bunch of these wonderful mint leaves. I know my mom sees me doing that, she's gonna laugh, because my grandmother used to have mint leaves, mint growing next to her door of her house, and you couldn't go in the front door. You had to go to the side door where those gross mint leaves were growing, and I would literally almost just throw up because I couldn't stand the smell of them. And now here I am shoving them in my face. So between that and green olives, Mom, man, Morocco, what can you say, right? Okay, and then you put the sugar on top of that, just like that. And then you pour the water on top of the sugar, like so. I think I messed it up. Yeah, that's not what you do. Forget I did that. Forget I did that. Because here's what you do now. This is the fun part. This is where it really comes into the magical part of this. Oh, okay. Holy smokes. 4 cup. I'm gonna use both of these so it'll go a little faster. You pour these in here just like that. And then you pour them back in. Do that. Of course, I'm making a big mess. Can you guys even see what I'm doing? So it's pouring it everywhere. I'm telling you, I can't do anything without making a mess. You guys are getting to know me now, and you see that I do the simplest things, and I will make an absolute mess. So pour that in. Oh, that glass is hot. All right. And let's do it one more time for good measure, okay? I think I'm just tilting it too far. All right. I make messes. That. And we have mint tea. Okay, so now, what time is it? What time is it? It is 7:14. So we have about 4 or 5 minutes left. All right, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna get my food and get everything ready to go. I'll be right back when I'm done. Did you hear it? Here we go. Okay, so now, what I got here, Omar's mom made some couscous, and there's some of like the stuff that gets left out by the door, right? So I've got my couscous, the chicken in it, I got some dates, some olives, and now there's a trick to pouring this. Not a trick, but there's a protocol, if you will. This is the way you do it, and I'm gonna make a mess, and you know I'm going to, but you're supposed to take it and pour it from way up high to get a nice foam on it. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, that was really lame compared to what people do, because I've seen them, they'll hold it way down here. I mean, their arm is like way up there, and they pour it. Absolute precision every single time. It's pretty awesome. So, anyways, so again, I hope you enjoyed it. You got something out of everything that I had to say today. I know a lot of you have been asking for an update, and I know this video is running a little bit long, and that the whole tea making process was probably a little anticlimactic. It was not the emphasis of the video, but I at least wanted to let you see me try it, and I'm still going to perfect that, just like so many other things that I've tried here. So with that, I'm going to eat and carry on with my evening. And oh, by the time you all are seeing this, it is Mother's Day, so I want to tell each and every mother out there watching and mother-to-be, happy Mother's Day. And yeah, let's keep walking each other through that quarantine, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Oh, I just wanted to let you know, in case you were wondering how this worked out, this was actually better than the one that I did on my practice run a few days ago, and the first one. So yeah, I nailed this one, and I'm not even lying. All right. Oh, this is going to be a wonderful evening. Okay, now we'll see you on the next one. Bye.